This is probably one of the coolest stores that I've been in a long time. It takes me back to my childhood 100%. Welcome back to another episode of The Best of Living in East County. I'm your host, Ryan Evanson, and today we have ventured out to Pleasant Hill and we are visiting Pot of Gold Collectibles, which is an amazing vintage toy store that has a little bit of everything for everybody. I don't care if you're a big kid or a little kid or anywhere in between, this store has got something for you, I promise. Let's go check it out together. All right, I am here with Charlie with Pot of Gold Collectibles. This is an amazing store. Thank you for the quick little tour, just kind of getting to know the space. This is probably one of the coolest stores that I've been in a long time. It takes me back to my childhood 100%, but tell us where this all started.
So this store started about 14 years ago with our owner, Tom. He used to buy storage units and he came across one that was filled with toys.
Right.
And then he's, you know what, I'm gonna open a toy store.
Just like that?
Just like that. He said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And this store has gone through so many different phases. He started selling out of his garage. A lot of people come into garage sales, things like that.
Right.
So then from there, he moved into like a commercial unit, started selling out of there, and finally ended up in Martinez, where he was there for about 8 years.
Gotcha.
Little, less than 1,000 square foot shop, was there for a long time.
Right.
Then he wanted to take a little trip, moved to Florida for a little bit, said didn't like it, came right back here, and opened a store in Concord. And that store was there for a few years, and at that point is when he met Dave, who does all the Hot Wheels and everything behind us.
Gotcha.
And they started working together. And then when COVID hit, we said, you know what, now's the time, why don't we expand?
It's a great time.
Exactly,
COVID.
exactly.
Nobody's going into any stores.
Nobody's doing anything, now's the perfect time.
Sure.
So they found this location, and when we opened this, it was so many more people coming in here. We had to expand, and we took over the building next door.
Which is amazing.
And that was in less than a year.
Right. So we're in Pleasant Hill now. You've gone through this evolution with your business from, picking up a storage unit, finding some toys, deciding you want to sell some toys, to garage sales, to smaller units, smaller stores, and then now you're here with an expanded space, roughly over 3,000, 3,600?
Yeah, about 3,600 square feet right now.
3,600 square feet. You guys are going to get to see all of this stuff. This has got toys from 1940s and beyond. It's got a little bit of everything. I'm 43 years old. I remember going to, Toys R Us and KB stores and things like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And your eyes light up when you're 8, 9, 10 years old and you see all of this stuff and you just go crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore,
No.
which is kind of wild. We were talking earlier and I didn't think about it, but with, Amazon and online shopping, like I can't tell you the last time I took my kids to a toy store.
Kids don't get to experience that anymore.
Right.
So now when they come in here, they're like, wow. And their parents do the same thing because they haven't been in a toy store like this either. And they're like, wow, this takes me back.
Yes.
You'll see later up on the wall, our store's slogan is relive your childhood one toy at a time.
Yes.
So, I mean, no matter how old you are, we've got something for you.
And it's absolutely true. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I know I could bring my kids in right now and I would be just as excited about seeing all of these things for the first time in a long time as they would taking the trip down memory lane with me, but there's toys in here from their generation that they'd be into 100% too.
Yes, like I said,
something for everybody.
We have something for everybody here. No matter what you collect, we have something.
So tell us a little bit about the inventory. I mean, you've got a ton of stuff here. I haven't even seen half of it, but give everybody a rundown of what have you got? What's your go-to?
We have everything. We've got an entire room that's just Star Wars toys. Everything from the originals from 1977 all the way up to the stuff right now. Shows you're watching Mandalorian, things like that. We have that product in here. Pokemon is a really big thing for us. We have a lot of Pokemon. We have some of the original stuff, the base set. We have it in stock, all the way up to whatever's current. We have graded stuff, ungraded stuff. Lots. As you can see behind us, we have a ton of Hot Wheels.
Tons of Hot Wheels.
We have probably the largest selection of Hot Wheels in the Bay Area.
And you mentioned earlier, this is the largest independently owned toy store in...
Well, at least in the county. Also, I was showing you around, we have cabinets where we rent out to other vendors. So they have stuff on consignment. So we have all kinds of stuff. Everybody does different stuff. Like there's 23 different vendors in here, and some guys might do Funko Pops, another guy might do Lego, another guy does video games.
Right.
So we have just a huge array of inventory.
That is so cool. So aside from the vendors, I know you mentioned earlier, sometimes you do some things outside, events and things like that. Tell us a little bit about some of those things too.
We've done different things. We would host toy shows here in our parking lot.
Okay.
We go around to other toy shows. We're planning a trip to Vegas in February where Dave, who does all the die-cast stuff, he is sponsoring having the Dukes of Hazzard, Daisy,
You guys are going to see this car later, right?
Yeah.
We got this on film?
So they're all going to be there, and he's sponsoring that.
Yeah.
So they're gonna come out, do autographs and meet and greet and all
When
that
is that
kind of
again?
stuff. That is February 19th through the 23rd.
Gotcha. It'll be right here?
No, that's in Vegas.
Oh, that's in Vegas.
That's in
Gotcha.
Vegas. Also, me and Dave, we have our own toy show.
Okay.
That we put on. We put it on here at Concord High School.
Okay.
We get, we have about 125 vendors that come to that.
Right.
We started a couple years ago. The store has been one of our sponsors.
Okay.
We put all our flyers and all that stuff in here, so
that is so cool.
help advertise it. So
just a bunch of big kids selling kids stuff,
exactly.
right?
We get we get a lot of people coming in. We get a lot of people asking, hey, when are you doing your next one? Our parking lot sales here have been great.
Yeah.
Gets a little tight in our parking lot. It's not as big as our old location
Right.
where we could have a lot more vendors, but we make it work and people love it.
Oh, it's a great location. I mean, yeah, you may have some thinned out parking spaces, but you're right off the main drag. It's really easy to locate.
We've had people driving by and seeing these events and they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to stop.
Right. Most favorite item, personal favorite for you in the shop?
My favorite thing in the shop is something I already own.
Okay.
There is a sail barge over on the wall from Return of the Jedi. It was.
Make sure you get it on camera.
Yeah, it was a Hasbro exclusive. It was like a Kickstarter, the very first one they did. I have one in my collection.
Yeah.
It is the absolute favorite piece that I own.
Highest price item in the store? I think I know what it is, but
You'd be surprised. It's about $4,000, and it is a Jessie doll from Toy Story.
Oh.
It was only given out to the employees who worked at Pixar.
with vendors, you'll do trade-ins. What else are you doing?
We do trades all the time.
Yeah.
We will buy stuff. Also, people will come in with collections, little pieces, stuff like that, and we make an offer on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we buy it, sometimes we don't, but we always look at what they have.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, if they could be bobbleheads or baseball cards,
Right.
anything. Even if we don't buy that stuff,
That's something
we'll
I haven't
still take
seen.
a
Do you guys
look.
have a lot of baseball cards
We
here?
don't have a lot. We have a little bit.
Okay.
They don't. We're not a card store,
Right.
so we don't have people coming in for that.
Yeah.
But occasionally, if we buy a big lot or something, there's some in there. We don't really put them out. We'll make a post on Facebook or something
Right.
like that, and someone will come pick them up, and
Yeah.
we let them go pretty cheap sometimes.
I got
so.
you. I used to collect a ton of baseball cards
Me
as a
too.
kid. Joe DiMaggio used to live in Martinez, and I've
Yeah.
got a couple of signed cards from Joe. They're fake cards, but real autographs. So
Yeah.
that's probably my prized baseball card possession there. Anything that you guys are like actively seeking that's been tough to find?
There's not a whole lot that we're actively seeking,
Yeah.
but we prefer vintage stuff. We prefer stuff from the 80s, whether it's Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. That's the stuff that we really like.
Any special events that are coming up with the next 2, 3, 4 months that you want to highlight and promote?
That makes us hard. There's a few local shows coming up. There's like East Bay Comic-Con
Right.
that we're going to be at. Then, like I said, we're going to Vegas in February, and at the same time, there's HypeCon and there's Stockton Con
Okay.
that we're going to be doing, and then the show at the high school is going to be more than likely towards the end of April, maybe beginning of May.
You said that was Concord High?
At Concord High,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
So we're working on that right now. And one thing we incorporated with that is we do a toy show, and we also do a car show with it.
Okay.
So that we started doing that about a year ago, and we've had great success with that.
Right on. We support a nonprofit. It's a foundation called Ticket to Dream, and it benefits foster care youth, and we do toy drives and things like that. I wonder if we could find something here that we could throw into the toy drive for.
Definitely. Last year at our show at Christmas time, we worked with Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
And they would come in, they'd bring bins and stuff.
Right.
Well, We collected so many items for that between the toy show and the store here that we filled their van completely.
Oh, that is
and they
amazing.
couldn't even take everything.
Are you guys working with them this year?
This year, they didn't reach out to us this year.
Well,
And
I'm reaching out
don't
right
know
now.
why.
I think we could do that.
We definitely have something we can do with you guys. We donate to multiple things every year, so that's definitely something we can do.
Awesome. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I have a ton of stuff.
Perfect.
I literally can grab a box of it. It's all ready to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. I can't wait to dig in and take a look at everything that you've got in here. Anything else? Any final words?
No. I said, really, best thing to do is just come in and take a look. I mean, we have so much here.
I agree.
We're not going to be able to cover everything.
No. There's so much here. Like you said, there's something for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a kid or a big kid.
Exactly.
I guarantee there's something from your past that your eyes will light up on for sure. Well, I appreciate your time.
All
Thanks,
right,
Charlie.
thank you. Yep.
All right, so we're at the front of the store. We got a lockdown cabinet. We got some pricey stuff here.
Exactly. This is where we keep all of our autograph stuff. This was most of it was collected by us going to conventions and things like that. We've met almost everybody that has signed something in here.
Then you get some little guys here, some old Pez dispensers,
our Beanie
Babies.
You'd be surprised that those actually sell. Not for a
Still?
whole lot, but they sell.
I mean, that was the rage years ago, right? When was Beanie Babies, what, 10, 15 years ago? When was that?
Oh, it was more than that.
Was it?
It was in the late 90s. This is our Transformer section over here. We've got, all the newer stuff is up here. Cabinets over here is all older G1 stuff. This is also our Funko Pop section.
Funko Pop. I was looking for the name. I couldn't remember it.
Funko Pop. This section at one point was way bigger than this. So we still have some Lego in the cabinet over here.
Right.
These are our pre-built sets. Over here, this is our Star Wars room.
So this is your jam.
This is my jam. This is one of the more popular sections of the store. We have everything in here from original, figures from 1977, all the way up to current stuff. We have all different scales, whether you collect.
How old this stuff is.
Yeah, whether you collect like the 3 3/4 figures, or you're collecting the 6-inch, or we even have some 12-inch stuff. We have lots of stuff. We have, the role play stuff. We have helmets. We have lightsabers.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, I have one of these hanging in my room as a kid.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've got some vintage stuff up here, still in the boxes. All
Dude, is this
original
$600 for Luke Skywalker? Oh my
Yep.
God. And the Star Wars continues.
Yeah, we have more over here. This is a little bit of just the random stuff, and we get into our loose figures over here. Now, right above us, actually, this is what I was talking about.
Right.
This is my favorite piece up here. The sail barge from Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie.
Is that for sale or is it on display?
Everything
only?
in here is for sale. So, like I said, that's probably the second most expensive item we have in here.
Yeah.
So we get into our Power Ranger section, and this section here is all our, a lot of our vintage stuff, our vintage GI Joes. We've got some other stuff, Power Rangers. This section here, we've got our Ninja Turtle section.
American Gladiators.
Yeah, and this is where we get into this is like our superhero section over here, where we've got Superman, Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff.
Now what's going on with the Legos?
So we offer bulk Lego by the pound. Got a sign over there, $12 a pound. It is actually the cheapest price for bulk Lego anywhere in the area. You come in, you dig through, you fill up a bin with whatever you want, and we weigh you out.
How much of people are coming in and just like loading stuff up, or are they coming in and
They
they're trying to
dig.
They're looking for something specific,
looking for a
right?
specific piece. They'll sit here and dig through and be like, oh, hey, this is what I need right here. Okay, I need 4 of these. And we have people that have sat at this table for more than 4 hours before. Behind you is our Lego sets. We have all kind. We have Lego sets starting at $5, going up to these big sets up here. These ones are $400 or $500. Got some hard to find stuff. We have pretty good turnover on our Lego. Lego moves pretty good, so we're constantly having to add more stuff.
I feel like I need to go back to my parents' house and like dig up all the old stuff. All right, now we're coming around Pokemon Corner over here.
Yeah, this is where we have our Pokemon. We keep our packs and everything. single cards, graded stuff, all in this cabinet over here. We've also got a vendor that mostly does Pokemon. So we got him right in this area. We've got our Elite Trainer boxes here on the wall. Also, we've got a bunch of other Pokemon stuff. So this is our Pokemon section right here. And it kind of crosses with our video game section also.
Right. Yeah.
Where we've got our older set.
I'm checking out the old Game Boy stuff right here.
We keep our consoles over here. We've got our games over on the wall.
We got pieces that most people haven't even seen before. Like
I
a
bet.
working, fully functional Vectrex system. We got a Atari Jaguar system, very short-lived, complete with box, fully functional. Even some of the modern stuff like a standard Wii
we've had
game
some
controllers,
we've had some
Atari
really
2600 or a brand spanking new ColecoVision in box.
Oh wow!
We've
Check
had
this out.
some stuff that didn't even last very long in here. We had a Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
And didn't even work properly, and somebody saw it and just snapped
snagged
it
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was gone in less than a day.
Yeah.
Our current oldest toy in the building is a 1947 Super Baby. It's a Macy's exclusive.
Wow.
It's actually in one of our cabinets.
Yeah.
It's not one of the most expensive pieces, because just because it's old doesn't mean it's expensive.
Sure.
Just because it's new doesn't mean it's cheap.
Right.
But it's definitely a unique piece that most people have never even seen.
Yeah.
before.
No, I've seen a little bit of everything. I saw stuff that my sister used to play with. I saw Raggedy Ann. I think I saw Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Yep.
I saw Strawberry Shortcake.
Customers come in, and I'm in the middle of working on some original vintage Barbies, and I'm literally just playing with the Barbies. Toys are meant for the enjoyment of kids and adults.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we get both the new gen and the old gen together and help them relive their childhood one toy at a time.
Right.
That's even our company slogan.
Yeah.
And you want that ability to play, because everybody has that favorite toy that they grew up with. Everybody.
But life is
Doesn't
way
matter
too
what-
serious right now.
So if you can connect,
Not
whether it be an
surprised.
adult or a teen or a child with a toy, they'll bring their childhoods back.
Right.
So they're
Oh, yeah.
back to 8 years old playing with G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still, every time a G.I. Joe lot comes in, I'm going through it. And I can still remember sitting on my living room floor
Right.
playing with G.I. Joes, putting string on the wall and making little zip lines
Yep.
and
Oh, yeah.
blowing stuff up with firecrackers,
Right.
launching them with bottle rockets, burying them in the backyard in sand or throwing them in the pool. We played with our toys,
Right.
which is why they're actually so valuable now.
Yeah.
Versus like your baseball cards and your comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a 70s, 80s kid, so we grew up collecting baseball, collecting comic books. So those don't have a lot of value
Right.
because we still have them still sealed or
Yeah.
still fairly in good shape. So monetarily, they're not very expensive.
So this was part of our expansion. In less than a year, we expanded and took over the building next door. This was partner Dave, his idea. He said, why don't we expand and we will add cabinets over here that we'll rent out to vendors.
Yeah.
So Dave came in, at the old location, and he sells Hot Wheels, and he was like, "Hey, Tom, you want to sell some Hot Wheels?" And Tom's like, "Oh, Hot Wheels don't do really good. They don't sell that great." He's like, "Oh, bring in the old stuff like this, the red lines." So Dave brought him in, and he said, "No, let's try something else." And he brought in some newer stuff, some main lines and things like that. And he started with just a few pegs on the wall,
Right.
small section. And it just kept growing and growing and growing.
Fair to say it's done pretty well.
Yes.
Is that Daisy Duke over there I see?
Yep. So, this is all of our mainline Hot Wheels. This is one of the biggest selections you're going to find anywhere. Most, you go to Walmart or Target, they've got a small section of Hot Wheels. Very few places have a selection this big, and I don't even think there's a place, within 40 miles of us anywhere that has a selection of Hot Wheels like this.
Yeah.
And then you get into like your premium line over here. These ones all have like rubber tires on them and nicer stuff. And over here we've got our transports, and our cabinet here is full of red lines. These are all original ones, from the late 60s.
Right.
Lots of expensive stuff in there, and some not so expensive. We've got other lines. There's Hot Wheels that you can only get by being part of the Red Line Club.
Right.
And we've got a bunch of those. They'll do all kinds of different lines. They come out with like seasonal stuff, things like that, special series. We have all of that stuff here. You know,
What is going on here? Is this a vending machine
this
for?
is a vending machine. So this is something we're going to be doing in Vegas, and we've done this before. You load the vending machine up with product, and someone comes up and they pay for a pool. Okay. And we'll say, all right, these are your numbers, and they pick and they get a mystery item from it.
Got it.
So we're gonna take this to Vegas. We're gonna load it up. We're gonna do just regular Hot Wheels.
Right.
Dave's gonna do like Red Lines, you know, the older, more expensive stuff.
Right.
And then I'm gonna do Pokemon.
Okay.
We're gonna load it up with anything from packs to booster bundles, graded stuff, all that, and everyone comes up, takes a turn. And now you see these are cabinets that are rented by our vendors.
Right.
Everybody, you know, rents out a space and they can put whatever they want in there.
Right.
They're in charge of their own inventory. They do all their own pricing, and they bring their stuff in, put their stickers on it, and we sell it for them.
Gotcha. So if somebody wanted to do that, they just reach out to you
They
guys.
reach out to us and say, "Hey, look, I'm interested in being a vendor." At one point we had a 2-page wait list
Whoa.
of people, and we expanded and got more things, more cabinets available, and you know we filled them up. I went down that list and just started calling everybody. I had it filled in about a day.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
So over here, this is our Matchbox section. So it's not all Hot Wheels. You know, we've got like Matchbox and then race champions and stuff like that. It's just stuff. It has its own following.
Does it?
Some people only want Hot Wheels.
I was gonna say, are you either a Hot Wheels person or a Matchbox person, or is it?
Sometimes, usually, you're one or the other. But people do cross lines. You know, Matchbox, they don't do like the fantasy vehicles like Hot Wheels does.
Okay.
This section here, this is a little more high-end cars. We've got Mini GT, we've got Greenlight, Auto World, M2s, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't your $2 cars that you're going to find at Walmart. These ones are, you know, for more serious collectors. The cars have a lot more detail on them. It's like a different thing. So behind us is where we've got some of our more expensive pieces. These right here, these are super treasure hunts. These ones, they come randomly in cases of Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
They're kind of hard to find. That's what when you see all the guys lined up at Target in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what they're in there hunting for. You know, like I was telling you before, some of the more exclusive stuff you have to be a member of the Red Line Club to get. That's these pieces right here. These, you don't walk into a store and find them.
Gotcha.
You can only get them directly.
So you could find
from
stuff like
Mattel.
this in the store,
This
potentially.
you can find in the store.
But you got to know what you're looking for.
Exactly.
Right? It's not labeled like that. It's
Well,
just
it kind of is. The paint is different on it.
okay.
And the tires are rubber. And if you look at one, there's actually a little gold symbol behind the car, and that means that it's a super treasure hunt.
Huh.
Like I said, this is more of the exclusive stuff that you can only get. We've got another autographed piece. The mail truck is signed by John Ratzenberg, who was Cliff.
I was going to say,
Cheers.
Cliffy.
He was all. He was also in Star Wars. He was he was in Toy Story. So another guy we met at a convention and got something signed.
Which one
by
was
him.
he in Toy Story? Was he the Slinky guy? No.
No, was he? God, what was he in Toy Story? I can't remember right now.
If you know, DM
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
And the thing is, I should know. Fast and Furious piece down here, signed by Noel G, who plays Hector.
Yeah.
We actually know him pretty well. He's done a bunch of stuff for the store. He's shot some videos for us and stuff. We did a drawing one time. He pulled the name for us. He's a really nice guy, and we see him at a lot of conventions. So over here we've got just more vendors. You can see we just in this little area, everything is different.
Yep.
This guy, he does Hot Wheels and Funko Pops. That's his main thing. He does die cast and Funkos. We talked about sports cards. We do have a little bit over here. This is one of our this I think is our newest vendor, Jay. He kind of does a little bit of everything. You can see he's got sports cards, Funkos, Pokemon, Lego minifigs. This cabinet, this vendor, he does a podcast. It's all on action figures. It is one of the...
You want to plug them?
It is one of the top action figure podcasts.
What's the name?
It's Hoodcast AF. I'm a regular guest on there, and me and him, we actually have our very own podcast that we do. It's all about Star Wars and collecting.
Gotcha.
And it's we cover like the dark side of collecting, like all the bad things. Like
Right.
We were talking about getting scammed and things like that.
Right.
We cover all that on our podcast.
I gotcha.
also.
And what's your podcast called?
It's I've got a bad feeling about this.
Appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Should I? Shouldn't I? Probably shouldn't, but I did
Yeah.
anyways, and damn it.
Yeah. This cabinet was filled with old stuff. We had like old, like it was like a little kid's sewing machine, and things like that. We had some tin toys, stuff like that. One last section. We got some more vintage over here, where we've got old things like Muscle Men. We've got a bunch of old card sets. Some mask stuff. Evel Knievel. Somewhere in there we've got an original.
They got an Evil Knievel up there too.
We've got a complete Series 1 garbage pail set.
Garbage.
Yeah, no problem.
Giving us the full walkthrough. I mean, it's one of those things. You got thousands of treasures in here, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't take the time to walk through it, you'll never see any of
you
it.
don't. Tom always likes.
That's
to
got to
say-
be the fun part, right? Like just coming in here and just taking a look, taking a browse. I mean, you come in here, you probably spend what, 30 minutes to an hour minimum?
We've seen customers 45 minutes
Yeah.
to an hour.
Right, just checking it all out.
Yeah.
All right, before we wrap things up, tell everybody where they can reach you online.
Social media is the best way to reach us.
Yeah.
Instagram at Pot of Gold Collectibles and at Diecast Shack also.
Okay.
And on Facebook, it's Pot of Gold Collectibles also.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Check that out online, but get to the shop. I promise you won't be disappointed. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you can stay tuned on all of our new episodes coming out. Thanks for catching this one, and we'll catch you on the next one.